Autumn arrives with brilliant colors in Minnesota. Vivian Carrera took a deep breath as she gazed at the golden maple leaves scattered across her front yard. The weight of being an elementary school teacher, a wife, and a mother pressed down on her shoulders like a heavy blanket. "Luna, hurry up. You'll be late for school," Vivian called from the bottom of the stairs. From upstairs came the sound of small footsteps and the sweet voice of her 6-year-old daughter. "I'm coming. I'm just finishing my math homework." Sophia Thornton, Luna's best friend and someone who brought complicated feelings to Vivian's heart. While she kept a polite relationship with Sophia's mother Beatrice on the surface, there was an uncomfortable tension that made her skin crawl. Vivian could sense something dark lurking behind Beatrice's perfectly applied makeup and practiced smile. "Good morning, my beautiful girls," said Marcus as he walked into the kitchen. Vivian's spine stiffened automatically at the sound of her husband's voice. He was successful as a medical equipment salesman and appeared to be the perfect husband, but lately something felt wrong about the way he moved around her. Strange phone calls about medications, unexpected trips to medical conferences, and worst of all, the way he looked at her like she was a problem to be solved. "Good morning," Vivian replied with a forced smile. "What time will you be home today?" "I'll be late tonight. I have a meeting with some doctors about new sleep medication samples," Marcus replied, sipping his coffee. His eyes darted away from hers, focusing somewhere over her shoulder. "Daddy. Daddy." Luna came bounding down the stairs and wrapped her arms around Marcus's waist. Her dark curls bounced just like her mom's, but her bright green eyes were definitely inherited from her dad. "Today I'm going to show Sophia my new colored pencils." "That sounds wonderful, sweetheart," Marcus patted his daughter's head, but his touch felt mechanical and distant. "I need to get going now." Vivian watched her husband's retreating figure, fighting down the uneasiness that twisted in her stomach. After 8 years of marriage, she had developed a teacher's instinct for reading people's emotions. Marcus was definitely hiding something from her lately. "Mama, let's go." Luna's cheerful voice broke through her worried thoughts. "Okay, let's go, baby." In the car, Vivian studied her daughter's innocent face in the rearview mirror. Luna was absorbed in the colorful autumn scenery outside, occasionally scribbling something in her notebook. "Sophia's mom looks like a movie star," Luna said suddenly. "What?" Vivian felt her heart skip a beat. "Sophia's mom? Daddy thinks so too." Vivian's knuckles turned white as she gripped the steering wheel. "Oh, Daddy said that?" "Yes, did you know? Daddy talks to Beatrice about special medicine. They whisper about making people sleep better. A child's innocent observations can cut deeper than any knife." Vivian was about to respond when the elementary school building appeared ahead. Other parents' cars were already filling the drop-off lane, including Beatrice's expensive white sedan. "Good morning, Vivian." Beatrice waved with her perfectly manicured hand as she stepped out of her car. "Good morning," Vivian returned the greeting, but ice formed in her chest. "Sophia." Luna jumped out of the car and ran toward the petite girl with platinum blonde hair standing beside Beatrice. The two children immediately started giggling and sharing secrets like they always did. "Those two are inseparable, aren't they?" Beatrice said, her voice smooth as silk. "Oh, by the way, Marcus was so helpful when I had questions about my husband's sleeping problems. He gave me some wonderful advice about medications." "I see," Vivian kept her voice steady despite the alarm bells ringing in her head. "He didn't mention that to me." "Oh, you know how men are about work talk, right?" Beatrice laughed, but her eyes remained cold and calculating. "See you this afternoon." After hugging Luna goodbye, Vivian returned to her car with shaking hands. Driving to the school where she taught, she remembered the pile of medical brochures that had been appearing in their mailbox recently. Sleep aids, anxiety medications, and something about natural-looking health solutions. Marcus had brushed off her questions, saying they were just samples from work. But why were they addressed to both of them, and why did some have Beatrice's clinic's return address? When she arrived at Jefferson Elementary, her teaching assistant Maria looked at her with concern. "Are you feeling all right? You look pale." "I'm just tired," Vivian answered, but her voice betrayed her anxiety. In truth, her mind was spinning with terrible possibilities. Her husband's strange behavior, his connection to Beatrice, and those medical samples. Was she imagining things, or was there something sinister happening right under her nose? Her stomach churned with fear. Even thinking such dark thoughts felt like betraying her own family, but as a teacher she knew how to spot when something was wrong with a child. As a mother, she had the same responsibility to protect Luna. As a wife, she deserved to know what Marcus was really planning. She decided to leave school early today. She needed to search through Marcus's medical samples and paperwork. If she found nothing suspicious, she would apologize to herself for being paranoid. But if she discovered something dangerous? Vivian pushed that terrifying thought away and focused on her students. 4 p.m. Vivian left Jefferson Elementary earlier than usual and drove to pick up Luna from school. As the afternoon sun cast long shadows across the playground, her teacher's eyes immediately noticed something wrong with Luna's posture. Instead of skipping toward her with bright excitement like every other day, today Luna walked with dragging feet and downcast eyes. "Luna, sweetheart, what's wrong?" Vivian knelt down to meet her daughter at eye level. Luna glanced up at her mom's worried face, but quickly looked away again. Her green eyes held a mixture of fear and confusion that made Vivian's heart ache. "It's okay, baby. Did something happen at school?" Vivian gently touched her daughter's small shoulder. Luna chewed on her bottom lip and spoke in a whisper. "Mama, Sophia made me promise not to tell you something." Vivian's blood turned cold. Children's secrets were usually about broken toys or stolen cookies, but Luna's troubled expression told a different story. Something serious was frightening her little girl. As they settled into the car, Vivian forced herself to breathe slowly and stay calm. "Tell me what's bothering you, sweetheart." The words came out gentle but firm, careful not to pressure her daughter. Vivian had learned from years of teaching that scared children needed patience. Luna buckled herself into her booster seat, her tiny fingers gripping the straps tightly. "Sophia told me something scary," Luna's voice quivered. "She said her mama talks to my dad about special medicine that makes people sleep forever." Vivian's hands clenched the steering wheel so hard her knuckles cracked. In her mind, Beatrice's words from that morning replayed like a broken record. "Marcus gave me wonderful advice about medications." It could be an innocent misunderstanding, but Luna's frightened face suggested otherwise. "Did Sophia say what kind of medicine?" Vivian asked, watching her daughter's reflection in the rearview mirror. Luna shook her head, curls bouncing. She doesn't know the name, but she heard Daddy and her mama talking about making someone go to sleep and never wake up. A sharp pain stabbed through Vivian's chest like a knife. Her worst nightmares were becoming reality. This wasn't about an affair anymore. This was about something much more terrifying. "Luna, did you hear anything else?" Vivian's voice cracked despite her efforts to sound calm. "Sophia said there are little bottles hidden in Daddy's work bag," Luna answered, pressing her face against the car window. "She said there's something with her mama's name on them and the word sleep." The car rolled to a stop in their driveway. Vivian turned off the engine and sat paralyzed for several heartbeats. Terrible possibilities crashed through her mind like waves. Maybe it was just samples from Marcus's medical equipment job, or perhaps sleeping aids for Beatrice's husband. But her teacher's instincts screamed that something evil was hiding in plain sight. Once inside their house, Luna's mood lifted and she raced upstairs to her bedroom. Vivian remained frozen in the hallway, staring at Marcus's home office where his medical samples were stored. Should she search through his things now, or wait until he came home tonight? "Mama." Luna called from upstairs. "Can I have my apple slices?" "Coming right up, baby," Vivian called back, walking toward the kitchen on unsteady legs. As she sliced the apple with shaking hands, her thoughts kept returning to those medical samples. After bringing Luna her snack, Vivian crept back downstairs. "I'm going to grade some papers, so please play quietly, okay?" she told her daughter before approaching the office. The door stood slightly ajar. Vivian hesitated but forced herself to step inside. Marcus's briefcase sat on the desk, partially open with medical brochures spilling out. She took a shuddering breath and lifted the lid completely. Inside were dozens of small glass vials with pharmaceutical labels. Her hands trembled as she picked up one bottle. The label read, potassium chloride, injectable solution. Below that, in Marcus's handwriting, B.E. of Thornton, sleep study. Vivian's stomach lurched. She grabbed another vial, insulin, high concentration. And another, morphine sulfate. Each bottle had Beatrice's initials and cryptic notes about dosages. At the bottom of the briefcase, she found a manila folder labeled, VC, Final Protocol. Her own initials. With numb fingers, she opened the folder. Inside were detailed medical charts showing how to inject someone to make their death appear natural. Her name appeared throughout the documents alongside phrases like cardiac arrest and diabetic coma. Luna's innocent words had saved her life. When her daughter mentioned the bottles with Beatrice's name, she hadn't looked away from the truth. Vivian grabbed her cell phone with violently shaking hands and dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? Vivian's voice broke. I think my husband is planning to murder me. Silence stretched across the phone line. Ma'am, can you give me your address? We're sending officers immediately. Vivian rattled off her address and explained about the medical vials and murder plans. After hanging up, she sank into Marcus's desk chair with the evidence scattered before her. Her head spun and her chest felt crushed by an invisible weight. Marcus, her husband and Luna's father, was plotting to kill her using his medical knowledge. And Beatrice was helping him plan it. From upstairs drifted the sound of Luna humming a lullaby, sweet and pure. Vivian forced herself to stand up. She had to protect her little girl. There was no time for falling apart. 15 minutes later, the doorbell chimed through the house. Vivian peered through the peephole and saw a uniformed female officer alongside a woman in civilian clothes. When she opened the door, the plainclothes woman flashed her badge. Mrs. Vivian Carrera? I'm Detective Camille Rodriguez. This is Officer Martinez. We responded to your emergency call. Vivian stepped aside to let them enter. Luna, can you come downstairs for a moment? She called up the staircase. When Luna appeared at the top of the stairs, Vivian managed a reassuring smile. Luna, these ladies are police officers. They need to speak with Mama privately. Officer Martinez will keep you company upstairs, okay? Officer Martinez smiled warmly at Luna and asked, do you have any coloring books we could work on together? Luna, mesmerized by the shiny badge and uniform, nodded eagerly. After watching them disappear upstairs, Vivian led Detective Rodriguez into the home office. Please explain why you believe your husband intends to harm you, Rodriguez said in a steady, professional tone. Vivian recounted the morning's events and gestured toward the open briefcase. Look at these medical supplies and this folder. Rodriguez approached the desk and examined the vials and documents. Vivian watched the detective's face grow increasingly grim. This is extremely concerning evidence, she said. However, we'll need additional proof to secure an arrest warrant. These could theoretically be legitimate medical samples. But they're in my briefcase with my initials on the dosage charts, Vivian said, desperation creeping into her voice. I understand your fear, but legally, Rodriguez hesitated. Do you have any other supporting evidence? Vivian's mind raced. The medical insurance. Marcus recently changed our policies without consulting me. And there should be text messages between him and Beatrice Thornton. Rodriguez nodded while scribbling notes. We'll investigate thoroughly. First, I need to confiscate these medical supplies for laboratory analysis. Take everything. Whatever you need. Vivian said without hesitation. Rodriguez carefully sealed the vials and documents into evidence bags. Now, tell me more about this Beatrice Thornton. Vivian described Beatrice's job at the cosmetic clinic and recounted Luna's disturbing revelations about the secret conversations. Rodriguez asked probing questions and documented every detail. Mrs. Carrera, I'll be completely honest, Rodriguez said with a grave expression. This evidence strongly suggests criminal intent, but we need more concrete proof for arrests. Tonight, we'll station surveillance outside your home. What if Marcus comes back? Vivian's voice cracked with terror. Don't panic. I'm arranging a safe house for you and Luna tonight. The department will handle all expenses. Rodriguez was about to continue when Vivian's phone buzzed. Marcus's name appeared on the screen. Answer it, Rodriguez whispered urgently. Act completely normal. Don't let him suspect anything. Vivian's hands shook as she accepted the call. Hi honey. Great news. I finished early today, Marcus's voice sounded cheerfully normal. I'll be home by 7 o'clock. Want me to pick up Chinese food for dinner? Vivian's mouth went completely dry. That sounds perfect. I'll be here waiting. Love you. See you soon. Marcus disconnected. Vivian set down the phone with trembling fingers. He's coming home at 7 o'clock. Rodriguez glanced at her watch. It's 5:45 now. We have time. Martinez, she called toward the staircase. Officer Martinez appeared with Luna, who was proudly holding a paper flower. Look what I made, Mama. Officer Martinez showed me how. It's beautiful, sweetheart, Vivian forced enthusiasm into her voice. Luna, we're going on a special adventure tonight. Staying in a hotel. A hotel? With room service? Luna's eyes lit up with excitement. Maybe. Officer Martinez addressed Vivian. Pack essentials for overnight. Keep it minimal. Vivian rushed upstairs and grabbed clothes, toiletries, and Luna's beloved teddy bear. Through the bedroom window, she could see their peaceful neighborhood continuing its evening routine. None of the neighbors realized a potential murder plot had just been discovered in their quiet street. When she returned downstairs with their bags, Rodriguez was waiting by the front door. One final question, Rodriguez said. Besides these medical supplies, does your husband keep anything else hidden? A second computer, private files, anything? Vivian shook her head. He takes his phone and tablet everywhere. Then she remembered something. Wait. There's a locked filing cabinet in our bedroom closet. I've never seen inside it. Rodriguez's eyes sharpened with interest. Show me exactly where. They went to the master bedroom, and Vivian pointed to a metal cabinet tucked behind hanging clothes. It appeared about 6 months ago. Marcus said it was for important work documents. Rodriguez examined the lock carefully. This could contain crucial evidence. She radioed for a forensics team and search warrant. Priority request for warrant execution, she said into her radio. Turning back to Vivian, she continued. I'm escorting you both to safety now. Officer Martinez will stay with you. I'll remain here for the evidence team. What about Beatrice? Vivian asked anxiously. She's part of this conspiracy. Another unit is already monitoring the Thornton residence, Rodriguez assured her. We're tracking their every movement. Before climbing into the patrol car, Vivian turned for one last look at her house. The home that had felt safe and loving just that morning now seemed like a trap designed to destroy her. She squeezed Luna's small hand tightly. Where are we going, Mama? Luna asked curiously. It's an adventure, baby. Vivian held her daughter close. We're staying somewhere special tonight. Maybe there's even a swimming pool. Yay! I love adventures. Luna giggled. As the patrol car pulled away from the curb, Vivian stared out the rear window. The suburban streets blurred past in the fading daylight. Her entire world was about to shatter completely. She felt a strange combination of terror and relief washing over her. At least Luna was protected, and she had escaped whatever Marcus had planned for tonight. It all began with her daughter's innocent words. Sophia said her mama talks to daddy about special medicine. Those simple words from a child had saved both their lives. After Luna fell asleep in the hotel room, Vivian stood by the large window watching the city lights twinkle in the darkness below. Officer Martinez was stationed in the hallway outside their door, but Vivian's nerves still felt raw and exposed. Her phone buzzed, and Detective Rodriguez's name lit up the screen. Mrs. Carrera, we have significant developments. Rodriguez's voice carried urgent tension. We discovered critical evidence in that locked filing cabinet. Medical charts detailing your husband's murder plan and photographs documenting his relationship with Beatrice Thornton. Vivian's breath caught in her throat. Photographs? What kind? They show an intimate relationship between them, Rodriguez said, carefully choosing her words. But that's not the worst part. We also found detailed injection protocols and, she paused, vials of concentrated insulin and potassium chloride. Vivian's legs gave out beneath her. She collapsed onto the hotel bed beside her sleeping daughter. Insulin? He was going to inject me? According to the documented plan, yes. The emails indicate he intended to administer the injections during your sleep tonight. Tonight. If Luna hadn't revealed Sophia's secret, by morning Vivian would have been dead. Vivian gazed at her daughter's peaceful sleeping face. Luna was curled up with her teddy bear, completely innocent of how she had saved her mother's life. What about arrest warrants? Vivian asked weakly. Already issued. One team is at the Thornton residence now. Marcus hasn't returned home yet, but we have units waiting to apprehend him immediately. I understand, Vivian replied, exhaustion weighing down her voice. What happens to us now? Stay at the hotel until we confirm both suspects are in custody. I'll call you the moment it's safe. After ending the call, Vivian returned to the window. Her mind replayed 8 years of marriage to Marcus like a painful movie. When had he started planning her death? How had she missed the signs of such calculated evil? Lost in dark thoughts, her phone rang again. This time Marcus's name appeared on the screen. She froze momentarily, then remembered Rodriguez's instructions, act normal, don't reveal anything. Hello? Vivian forced her voice to sound casual. Vivian, where the hell are you? Marcus's voice mixed fury with panic. I came home and the house is empty. Oh, I'm so sorry, Vivian improvised quickly. Luna started feeling sick at school. I rushed her to the emergency room. Emergency room? Which hospital? Mercy General, Vivian named the first hospital that came to mind. She's stable now, but they want to monitor her overnight for dehydration. I'm coming there immediately, Marcus's voice carried a strange, desperate edge. The moment she hung up, Vivian speed-dialed Rodriguez. Marcus is home and thinks we're at Mercy General Hospital. I told him Luna is sick. Perfect, Rodriguez said. He'll head straight there. Our arrest team is already in position at the hospital. 1 hour later, Vivian's phone rang once more. Rodriguez's voice carried relief. Mrs. Carrera, Marcus Carrera is in custody. We arrested him in the hospital parking lot attempting to enter the building. Vivian exhaled deeply for the first time all day. And Beatrice? Also arrested. Both suspects are being interrogated separately and have begun blaming each other. Relief and emotional exhaustion crashed over Vivian like a tidal wave, and she began sobbing uncontrollably. The terrifying nightmare that had consumed her day was finally ending. The next morning, while Luna munched on hotel pancakes, Vivian met with Detective Rodriguez at the police station. In a cramped interrogation room, she reviewed the signed confessions from Marcus and Beatrice. They're pointing fingers at each other, Rodriguez explained. Beatrice insists it was entirely Marcus's scheme, while Marcus claims Beatrice manipulated him into it. What's the actual truth? Vivian asked in a hollow voice. Both are guilty, Rodriguez opened a thick evidence folder. Marcus's motive was purely financial. He planned to collect your life insurance and disappear with Beatrice. But Beatrice had her own agenda too. What do you mean? Harrison Thornton, Beatrice's husband, is cooperating with our investigation. Beatrice told us she was escaping an abusive marriage, but evidence shows she was actually plotting Harrison's murder for his investment portfolio. That's impossible. Unfortunately, it gets worse. They apparently plan to eliminate each other after killing their spouses, keeping all the insurance money for themselves. Vivian's stomach lurched with disgust. They thought that far ahead? Greed makes people calculate terrible things, Rodriguez closed the files. The positive news is we have overwhelming evidence. Both will face multiple felony charges. You, Luna, Harrison, and Sophia are completely safe now. Vivian felt tears of relief forming. How is Sophia handling this? Harrison is caring for her. He understands the situation and is focused entirely on protecting his daughter. Before leaving the station, Rodriguez allowed Vivian to observe Marcus through the detention center's one-way glass. Her former husband slouched on a metal bench looking utterly defeated. Unaware he was being watched, Marcus stared blankly at the concrete floor. Had this man ever truly loved her, or had she always been just a target? Mrs. Vivian Carrera, a gentle voice called from behind her. She turned to see a tall, kind-faced man approaching. "I'm Harrison Thornton." "Mr. Thornton," Vivian struggled to find appropriate words. "I had no idea," he said softly, "about their conspiracy. If Sophia hadn't overheard their conversations, if Luna hadn't told you." Vivian couldn't finish the thought. They looked into each other's eyes, sharing a moment of profound understanding. Two strangers united by surviving the same betrayal. "Sophia really wants to see Luna," Harrison said carefully. "If you think that's appropriate." "Absolutely," Vivian nodded firmly. "Our children are completely innocent. This shouldn't destroy their friendship." Driving back to the hotel, Vivian watched the familiar streets pass by her window. Just yesterday morning, her life had felt secure and predictable. Everything had shattered, but she still had Luna, and that meant hope for rebuilding. When she entered the hotel lobby, she spotted Luna teaching origami to Officer Martinez. Vivian smiled genuinely for the first time in days. Children's resilience never ceased to amaze her. "Mama." Luna noticed her and sprinted over excitedly. "I made 20 paper flowers. They're absolutely beautiful, sweetheart." Vivian scooped her daughter into a tight hug. "Luna, you're the bravest little girl I know. You protected Mama." "How did I do that?" Luna tilted her head curiously. "I'll explain when you're older, but today," Vivian gazed into her daughter's bright eyes, "would you like to see Sophia?" Luna's entire face lit up with pure joy. "Yes. I miss her so much." Vivian pulled out her phone and called Harrison's number. 1 year later, autumn in Minnesota. The season when golden leaves dance in the crisp air. Vivian stood at the window of her cozy new apartment, smaller than her previous home, but filled with warmth and safety. A sanctuary for fresh beginnings for her and Luna. "Mama, Sophia's almost here." Luna bounced around the living room with excitement. Now 7 years old, her daughter had healed from the traumatic events and blossomed into a confident child. Weekly therapy sessions had worked wonders, and Luna's bright laughter had returned completely. "I know, sweetheart. Are you ready?" Vivian replied with genuine happiness. Harrison and Sophia had started visiting them every other weekend. Initially, conversations felt strained and careful, but two adults who had survived identical betrayals gradually built trust. Over months, their relationship evolved from cautious cooperation into deep, supportive friendship. The doorbell chimed, and Luna raced to answer it, finding Sophia grinning on the doorstep. The two girls embraced tightly and immediately dashed upstairs to Luna's bedroom. Harrison stood in the doorway, his face radiating the same warmth Vivian felt. "Coffee?" Vivian gestured him inside. "I'd appreciate that." While preparing coffee in her small kitchen, they discussed the children's academic progress and upcoming school events. The criminal trial had concluded 6 months earlier, with both Marcus and Beatrice receiving lengthy prison sentences. "How's Sophia sleeping these days?" Vivian asked gently. "Much better," Harrison replied. "The nightmares happen maybe once a month now." "How about Luna?" "Similar improvement. Children bounce back in ways that amaze me." Through the window, they watched both girls raking autumn leaves into enormous piles and diving in with pure joy. "Listen," Harrison set down his mug. "Sophia's birthday is this Saturday. I'm organizing a small celebration. Would you and Luna join us?" Vivian's heart warmed. "We wouldn't miss it." That evening, after Harrison and Sophia departed, Luna curled up beside Vivian on the couch. "Mama, can I tell you a secret?" Luna whispered conspiratorially. Vivian's muscles tensed briefly, but Luna's mischievous expression reassured her immediately. What kind of secret? Only the good kind, promise. Sophia's dad is planning a surprise party for your birthday next month, Luna giggled. He made me swear not to tell. Vivian laughed with pure relief. That's definitely a good secret. Later that night, after tucking Luna into bed, Vivian stepped onto her small balcony and gazed up at the star-filled sky. Life rarely follows the path we expect. 12 months ago, she believed her marriage was solid and her future secure. Everything crumbled in a single day, but from those ashes, unexpected blessings had grown. Meanwhile, in a maximum security prison 3 states away, Marcus Carrera sat reading a handwritten letter in his narrow cell. The return address showed a woman's name he didn't recognize. She was requesting permission to visit him. Marcus smiled coldly. Someone new was interested in him, and familiar schemes began forming in his calculating mind.